as he steps to the podium. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Heidi. I wanted to talk about the CJID AI in Journalism Fellowship and why we are here with the pictures and what they will be doing the next couple minutes. So in May, at the end of 2021, CJID started, a new journey to building its own AI model because we believe that when there is a global transformation in the technology space, it's important for us to take the lead and also think through how that would work. So we started that, and then we built an AI model at the time to track disinformation in audio format. So it automatically detects disinformation claims in audio format. So you upload your audio content into the tool. Then it transcribes, in Nigerian English, in Ghanaian English, and in Nigerian Pidgin. So that was, in order to help us, nip the bud of disinformation in audio format. But we also thought that, that experience of being, a technology company, it's important for us to also extend that to journalists, because journalists should not just report about AI, right? They should also be able to understand how it works from behind the scene. So we started to launch the AI in Journalism Fellowship late last year, but this year in April, we sent out a call, for journalists, for technologists again, and then for data scientists to come together as a team. So we got about 500 applications, and we were able to select only 15 fellows from Nigeria and Ghana. So we have a team of 3. So 5. So they have journalists, technologists, data scientists, and researchers in a team to think about problems that they want to solve in the media and how they can build AI tools to get on that. So those are the fellows from Nigeria and Ghana that have been working in the last 6 months building AI tools. And then we have their mentor, Mr. Joshua Olufemi of Data Fight, Nubia AI, or Data Fight AI, I don't know which, who's mentored the fellows. And then we have Mansour, the fellowship manager, head of AI and innovation at CJID, who has been working with them to build tools. So they have then worked and built tools in the last 6 months. And so there are 3 tools that they have built. There's one chat journal. So they would come around and demo that to see how it works, get your feedback. Then we have News Lab. Then we have news accessibility platform that would even make, AI power platform that would make news accessible for people with hearing and visual impairment. So they would show you how the tools work. In the next couple, once I leave the stage, they will come in to do that. And then CJID also, we are also launching the 3rd platforms that we have also built, a radio monitoring tool that we've also built. Conversations about AI should not just be from a place of reading books alone. It should be from a place of doing. And we have been doing it, so we want to show how that works. And then we talk about ChatGPT today, perhaps the most popular, relatable tool that people think when they hear AI, but there is even far more. So we will probably think that, after now, probably these tools will become, of course, useful for journalism and media and communications, but also become, a potential launch of Africa and Nigeria into the world as to the potential. I mean, we're talking about building local AI tools, right? So we're thinking of doing that from here. So it's not just when you hear journalism, when you hear, communications, you don't just think about public releases, press releases and all, but pretty much the technical stuff, the knowledge stuff that makes, that changes the game, on the way media is done. And that's what CJID has been doing, in the last 10 years. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you the 15 CJID AI in Journalism Fellows, and they will be coming up one by one to demo the tools that they've worked in the last 6 years. Thank you very much.
So let's get started, shall we? The very first, of course, is the manager of the lab, and it's my pleasure to welcome to demo audio monitoring tool, Mansour Hussain. Let's put our hands together for him. Mansour Hussain will be walking us through this audio monitoring tool, and it's great that we're doing this at home. It's homegrown. Please, let's keep clapping. These are the great guys championing great stuff. So Mansour, you have about 5-7 minutes to demo, and then we'll take questions from the audience.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Mansour Hussain, Head of Innovation at the CJID. And I'll be waiting on them to please share the slide. Thank you. So I am not a part of the CJID AI in Journalism Fellowship. I'm actually the manager, and I lead the technology at the CJID. So in May, we launched the Dubawa audio platform, and since then, we've continued to make improvements. We've had over 250 users since May, and one thing that we realized is that we're bringing much more value than we realized at first. One of those values is that we have hundreds of hours of radio shows that have been recorded in our database. Now, what can we do with that is beneficial to people? What problems can this be used to address? And that's what I'm bringing to you today. Revolutionizing radio monitoring on the Dubawa audio platform. Next slide, please. So why radio monitoring is so important is that the radio is still the mass communication medium in Africa. And I know there's a lot of buzz about social media and all of that, but the radio remains where people get the most information. I think it's almost a ritual in Abuja that if you're going to work in the morning, you listen to Brekete show as Brekete family as it's happening. So this just shows that we get so much information from the radio, and sometimes we hardly even realize it. And then the next slide. So it shapes narratives and influences a lot of public opinion. And because there's no documentation or archival of the radio, a lot of times people listen to things and they don't even remember where they heard it from anymore. So radio monitoring is crucial for accountability, transparency, and combating misinformation, which is what we are doing at CJID. Next slide, please. So now, radio monitoring is like playing whack-a-mole because it's transient and there are too many of them. There are hundreds of radio stations going on 24 hours a day, so many radio shows, and it's almost impossible for a human to keep tab on all of these at the same time. If it's possible, it's still like a lot of work, and this kind of work should actually be done by a machine. Next slide, please. So the overview of the Dubawa audio platform is that it's a tool designed to transform how we interact with our most powerful communication medium, which is the radio. And it's powered by artificial intelligence. It offers transcription in Nigerian English, Ghanaian English, and Nigerian Pidgin currently, and we are also expanding to Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Kisharwanda, and Kiswahili soon enough. But it does not just stop there, because it goes beyond transcription. It goes beyond extracting claims from audio files, monitoring keywords, and providing instant alerts for critical topics, which is a key thing to stay on top of what is going on the radio. So this tool is empowering journalists, researchers, fact checkers, and the public to efficiently monitor what is going on the radio. Next slide, please. So this is just the landing page interface of the Dubawa audio platform. It helps you transcribe, analyze, and detect claims from radio show, from audio generally. Any audio file, whether it's the radio, whether it's podcast, whether it's interviews, it helps you analyze any audio file, and it gives you insights into it. Next slide, please. So here is the radio monitoring feature, which is basically the new feature that we are adding onto the Dubawa audio platform. So after we created the platform, a lot of people wanted to understand how they could use the platform apart from transcription and claim extraction. And leveraging over 100 hours of audio recordings that we have since we've been testing and launching the product, we've been able to build a database where people can find relevant information from the radio much more easily. And it allows you to search for a particular keyword from a radio show. It also allows you to set up keyword alerts. So now let's say I'm interested in gender-based violence. What are the keywords related to gender-based violence? Let's say women, girl, raped, abused, kidnapped, things like that. I can set up all of these keywords as an alert. Anytime it is mentioned on the radio, I get an email alert that on this radio show, the radio show on Thursday, 9 p.m., these keywords were mentioned like 2 or 3 times, and then you get to check it and see. And now this saves you a lot of hours of trying to understand what people are actually saying on the radio. So now social media monitoring is easy because you can always search everywhere. But radio monitoring is very, very difficult because there are no transcripts. This is what the Dubai Audio platform has actually been able to achieve. Next slide, please. So now this is just the interface that showcases the keyword search. So here it shows the word police. When you search for police, it also looks for similar words to police that could be relevant. So it could be policeman, policeman, police, police station, things like this. It helps you, it brings out all of these keywords for you to check out, and it shows you, the number of times these keywords was mentioned, on which radio show it was mentioned, and then you can click to view the transcription on this. Next slide, please. So this is an example of the transcription from State Affairs on Splash FM, and if you search for police here, it gives you the different times police were mentioned. So this helps you understand the context, and it brings you to the relevant information in very little amount of time, saving you hours of work. Next slide, please. So now this is the claim extraction as well. So this is particularly important for journalists, for fact checkers who are looking to monitor claims that are being made on radio shows. I think during my time entering public transport, hearing the kind of things that go on the radio, it's almost like really baffling that, and a lot of people would actually hear these things and take it up as, the right information. Meanwhile, a lot of them are actually wrong or misleading. So the claim extraction feature helps our fact checkers get to the right claims in less amount of time. Next slide. I think you skipped the slide. Yeah, so what makes the radio monitoring unique is the efficiency. It saves you hours of work. The accuracy, we've tailored this specifically for African languages. You can see we've built specifically for Nigerian English, Ghanaian English, Nigerian Pidgin. And accountability, it tracks claims so that we are able to hold the people who are making these claims responsible. Trust me, the bad guys understand that the radio is the perfect platform to spread propaganda, agenda, and misinformation. And lastly, it's the customization that allows you to set up keyword alerts. That's one unique thing that I don't think you've seen anywhere before. Next slide, please. So how it's used is journalists are using it to source for claims, fact checkers monitoring misinformation and disinformation on the radio. Researchers are using it to analyze trends on the radio, and organizations can stay informed on what matters the most to them and how their organization is being mentioned on the radio. Just like I said, you could search for police. If I was Dangote, I could search for Dangote. I'll see everywhere on the radio that Dangote has been mentioned. What context is the name being mentioned in? You're able to track all of this. It brings accountability. Next slide, please. So to join us in transforming the radio accountability via the radio monitoring on the Dubai Audio platform, you can sign up on the Dubai Audio platform, dubawa.ai, and this is still work in progress, and once it is ready, everybody here is going to get an email to check it out. So you can sign up on the platform ahead. So our first version is live already, but then this radio monitoring is a new version which is going to go live in a couple of weeks from now, and we are going to email you on how to get in touch with that. And then you can partner with us to pilot the radio monitoring feature. So you could be specifically interested in what value this could bring to you, and then we'll also incorporate that into what we are building. And then your feedback, of course, your feedback is safe, your data is safe, like Kaide said earlier, and we would really appreciate it to help us improve on the platform. So yeah, thank you very much. I'll take any questions from here.
So we're going to take questions now. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Need clarification. So we have one that's, so 1, 2, and 2. Yeah. So let's take those 2 questions. One is just behind you. She's in glasses. Thank you. So who you are and then straight to your question.
Good afternoon. Or good morning, sorry. Good. My name is Raima Adenimo from Fountain University, Oshogo. So I'm a researcher and I do a number of media content analysis over time. If I'm to use this content now to this software, or is it this platform?
The tool, yeah.
Analyze maybe radio discussed on issue of gender-based violence that you talked about. What are the things I'm likely to get at the end of the day? Will I get the context of in which specific terms have been used, which I can now explore and analyze myself? What exactly can I use it for at the end of the day? Thank you.
All right. Okay. Should I take
let's
that
take
first?
this. Do you want to? Let's take the second question. Then you
Okay.
can run through them. No. That's not the second. Sorry. She or he is the second. There was a hand at the back. Apologies. Then.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdulrafiu. I research AI policy for data fights. Interesting. My observation is just that this is about radio, and in a lot of ways, in certain contexts, it's not all radio audience, especially in rural areas, that also read print or online platforms. So now, my question is that, do you have plans to ensure that the fact checks, for instance, that you produce from this sort of data, that you actually transmit them to people that are primarily radio audience in rural communities?
Right. So we'll take just the last question.
Yeah.
Or you're no more asking. Yes. So we'll just take that and that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Temisa Iteshola. I'm the media specialist for Search for Common Ground, a peace building organization. So my question, we work on early warning and early response. We have a system set up for that. And we also do social monitoring. So basically what we do around that is just online to monitor trends and all of that. And this is quite interesting. And we also have a couple of radio stations we partner with. We have audio programs across radio stations. So my question is, just like we monitor, online trends on Talk Worker, Build Up, and all of that, is it possible to also have a tailor-made, trend on our program? You said it's work in progress, so I'm talking about partnership right now. So if I want, you to monitor the trends going on our radio programs across the country, is this something, that is likely to happen? Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll just start with the last question there. So yes, definitely. And we have partnerships with fact-checking organizations right now, and they are using this tool specifically for fact-checking. So if you're looking at specifically on monitoring trends, then that is certainly something that we can look into. So we can converse after the presentation here. So the previous question on our partnerships to ensuring that the fact checks from the misinformation is actually disseminated on how people who were affected by the misinformation can get it. So yes, I'm sure that is something that the Dubawa team is working on. So the Dubawa is the fact-checking arm of CJID. So they are responsible for investigating the fact checks. So yes, they are working on how to ensure that wherever misinformation is propagated, there's actually a response to the like a verdict on that platform. So if you made misinformation on TikTok, we want to respond on TikTok. If you did it on the radio as well, we want to respond on the radio. I hope that answers the question. And a question from my sister. So she talked about what you stand to gain. So there are two things majorly. So let me still use the gender-based violence scenario. So if, for example, you want to measure since when the Dubai Audio platform launched, what were gender-based violence contexts since then? You can basically search for all of the keywords related to gender-based violence, and then you will get all of the transcripts. So then you will be able to carry all of this text and use it to understand the context, and you could even, I'm not sure what exactly the research you would be looking for, but you get that. And then the second benefit is that for future purposes, you can set up the keyword alert, and you will be notified via email max 20 minutes after a radio show is concluded. You'll be notified via email that, oh, your keyword was mentioned on this radio show at this particular time. Thank you. I'm not sure if Kayode is going to allow more questions. Okay.
Well, that will be me. But because of time, we still have about, say again? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to respond to the fact-checking question. So we have a fact-checking fellowship where we also have journalists from radio stations, part of our fellows, who get on to use the tool and also like circulate on the platforms. Then we also have, a media and information literacy campaign where we have, volunteers across, across states, across Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and the Gambia, Senegal, and Ivory Coast, who take conversations like these to people in rural communities who listen to radio. So I wanted to just add that context to it. Thank you.
Thank you all. I'm just a tech bro. I don't really understand the programs. So yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Now, the beauty about being in the same space today is that during tea break and lunch, you can network and ask all of your questions. If we were to give everyone a chance, we'll probably not close as early as we plan to do so. Okay, still the lineup of the demo and case studies highlighting successful integration adoptions. The next that we will be having up is Chat Journal, and I'll be calling up Ayomikunle Daramola for the demonstration and all of the explanations. Ayomikunle, are you here? Please, a round of applause. All right, he's making his way up here. Another round of applause, please, as he comes up. Thank you.
Good morning. So, tell a story faster. Let Chat Journal provide context. My name is Ayomikunle Daramola. I'm an investigative journalist, and I work as a political reporter with the Cable. All right, so Chat Journal, like I said, tell a story faster. Let Chat Journal provide context. Next slide, please. For different newsroom, backstory means different things. For some, it means background. For many, including laymen, it means context. And for few, it means depth. It all means the same thing, providing historical perspective for your readers. So when I read your fresh report, I can know where you're coming from and where we are right now. Right? Providing details, historical details, giving precedent to your report. That's what backstory means. Next slide, please. So to build Chat Journal, we ran a survey amongst 38 reporters from more than 10 newsrooms. And these are what we got. 92% wants a tool that can help them to retrieve backstories. 56% said they need a tool that can help them with research and fact-checking. While 33% said they need it for content generation and brainstorming. So let's talk about the features that you're going to find in Chat Journal. Next slide, please. So there are two features. The first one is the story retrieval and summarization, which we call the SSR, and the second one is the chatbot. So the story retrieval and summarization, it's very simple and straightforward. With the use of keyword, it helps you to retrieve tons of related backstories, and it helps you to summarize them. Okay, and it also gives you multiple attempts at summarization, just in case you're not satisfied with the summary that we've given to you. Now let's talk about the summary itself, right? We understand that backstories are usually written in past tense, right? So Chat Journal helps you to solve that problem. It also, like I said, it gives you multiple attempts at summarization, and it also provides you with a backlink. So instead of going to Google to confirm whether the link is there or not, you can easily click and take it to wherever you want to, whether your Google Doc or your WordPress, to embed it for your readers to click on. Right. So let's come to the chatbot. For people who have used Meta AI or ChatGPT, you are now familiar with chatbots. But what makes a chatbot unique and different is because it is specifically made for journalists. It complements your work, and in just simple terms, it's your assistant. So as an investigative journalist, I tend to struggle with, coming up with story ideas all the time. But with Chat Journal, you can come up with story idea that is brainstorm with it so that it can give you multiple, ideas that you can, okay, can I use this? Can I use that? Then you can pick one at the end of the day. It can also help you with story angles. You have a story, should you pick it from the police side or should you pick it from the victim side? Chat Journal helps you to solve that problem. Also, it can help you to, recraft headline. Right? Your headline is too long, you want to make it shorter, Chat Journal is there for you. It's not strong enough, Chat Journal is there for you. Okay? And most importantly, it also helps you to, say you have the summary from our SSR, but you are not satisfied with it, okay? You can transfer it to a chatbot and request that it is simplified into 2 paragraphs, 1 sentence, 1 line, 2 words, as much as you like it. All right, so we are going to show you a video of how to use Chat Journal. So, next slide, please. Back, please. So using your keyword, say Peter Obi, Donyo Kupe, search. It retrieves load of tons to related story. You can expand to view the content to be sure. Then you can summarize. It gives you 3 paragraphs of clear and concise sentences. You can direct it to a chatbot. What are the circumstances surrounding this story? It gives you circumstances surrounding the story. Headline for the story, it gives you an headline. You can then copy the story, go to your Google Doc, and make use of it. You can request that the content should be shortened. It does that for you. You can then take it to your WordPress, then make use of it. Also, you can copy the link, then take it to your WordPress, embed it. As simple as that. You can follow us on Twitter at Chat Journal, so you can join our waitlist. So next slide, please. All right, so we tested, some journalists have tested our products, and these are their testimonials. Johnstone Pilaka from Umagu say the Chat Journal is very useful, especially for fast-paced reporting where you have to do a lot of research and at once to file a story. Clermont, my colleague at the Cable, describe it as a very innovative and helpful tool, while Olaide Shuaga of Guardian says it is necessary. Journalism cannot thrive solely on information from the present, thereby emphasizing on the fact that we need previous reports. Right. Next slide, please. So to test our product, you can join our waitlist, and we'll reach out to you so you can test it. But before I leave you, it is important to note that Chat Journal does not just mirror the work view or ethos of one reporter or culture of just one newsroom. It's a one-size-fits-all tool. It's a product that is born out of research from journalists inside the country and outside the country. So we believe that whether you are a freelance journalist, a professional journalist, or a writer that just wants to give his report historical perspective, Chat Journal is the right tool for you. Thank you.
A round of applause, please. Okay, so we have time for some questions.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 and 2, 3. Is that 4? 4. Okay. Oh, okay. I see you. 5. All right, we'll just go straight to the questions. Remember the rules. All right.
Thank you. My name is Abdulrafiu, and I'm a researcher and also a teacher. And I think this sounds very promising. and especially for us as researchers, when we are looking for documented stories, especially for content analysis. But I don't know how does it actually look at the archived stories that are premium in nature. For example, some stories, when you need them, they are premium, you cannot actually have access to them. So how does this actually platform navigate the virtual space and get access to stories that are premium? Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to take all the questions or want to?
Yeah, let's take all the questions.
Okay.
So I can just...
All right. Thank you. It's such a wonderful application. However, sorry, my name is Sholola Yusuf. I'm from Summit University of Art. I have two things. First, I want that to be a write down what I said. Can we actually use this application to sit back end of so many stories? I'm working on hate speech, basically on Facebook and Twitter 2023 election, between 2019 to 2023. That is one. The second concern is this app can be used to write headlines, to cast headlines. My fear is for the future of journalism itself. It then means if our students are not online, then their brain is offline, because they won't be able to even cast just a headline on their own, because they will have to rely on this. It's just my own concern.
Yes, good morning all. My name is Jude Milia Moses, University of Maiduguri. My question is, you talked about how this tool can be used to generate content. And as an academic and a researcher, when you generate this content, when you use this content or use it in any of these AI tools to check plagiarism, will it indicate that this is AI generated? And what are the ethical issues, legal, when it comes to using this AI tool? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Let me take the questions right now. So I'm going to start from the last person. Considering the ethical tools, we have CJID backing us, right? So we have a team that is monitoring the ethical considerations. And so we believe that at the end of the day, we are in safe hand as in relation with CJID. So ethical considerations are met. Concerning in terms of research and content, this is still an MVP. And for now, it's still directed at journalists first. We believe that it's going to be all-encompassing, right? But we have an MVP now, and so our journalists can test it out. You also can test it out. But as we continue to build, we are going to make sure that you are included. Concerning the issue of headline generation, right? So, like I said, it's an assistant for journalists, right? It is not supposed to make journalists lazy. It is supposed to be complementary to the work that journalists do, right? So you craft an headline, but you are not satisfied with the headline. Charjono can help you to do that, right? If Charjono does not have the headline that you want, if it does not have the content, right, it cannot generate the headline. So you have the headline, then you can use Charjono to recraft the headline, so that it's not too long and it's not too short. It's not too weak and it can be strong. You get the point?
Then the question about premium content from archives.
Yes, I've answered that. We are in the MVP stage. We are building, and all considerations, we want feedback as much as possible. So you join our wait list and we can answer your question, and also we can also input them into our building process.
Okay, so that's 3 questions. You actually had 2 more, one here and then somebody at the back.
Okay.
If time permits, we'll take your 6th question, sir.
All right, thank you. My name is Solomon Oyele from Caleb University. Good idea, good innovation, but I have 2 concerns. One, the name itself. Probably you need to look at it again.
Okay.
Chat journal sounds more like ChatGPT again. I think you should just look at that. Then number 2, the issue of back-end stories, retrieving stories. Does it take into consideration the, speaking for print journalism now, our style? You understand?
Yeah, I do.
If I'm reporting for Guardian and I'm trying to get back stories of Guardians, are you going to give me the same in-house language because it will be different from the report by the Punch, for instance?
Okay, so like someone said, someone said about the future of journalists considering headlines. But I'm going to answer your question this way. Number one, it's an MVP. The second thing is that, like I said, Chat Journal is written in a clear and concise manner so that it can fit into any house style that you use. In fact, it is personalized in the way that I already said. It is written in past tense, and we ensure that we have a house style for Chat Journal. And the house style includes the fact that the facts are instituted. So when it generates backstory, the first thing that you're going to see is probably the date when the report happened. You know, say December 31st, former CBN governor was arrested, right? So it accentuates the fact, and it's written in clear and concise manner. So whether you are writing for the cable or you are writing for Premium Times, you can easily copy it and edit it into a format that is, complementary to your newsroom.
Okay, the final question.
Yeah.
And then
okay, hello. Thank you so much for your presentation. So I wanted to ask a question that goes in this manner. For Dubawa, it was clear that the information that will be provided will be pulled from radio transcripts, right? So for Chat Journal, where will you pull your data from? I didn't hear that. Will it be social media, radio, published works? Where is your data going to come out from? Because it seemed to me like it was just like another open source platform like ChatGPT, but this time around it will help you to just craft your story or craft your language to be journalistic in nature. So where will your data be feeding from into Chat Journal? I want to know.
Okay, so for the initial stage, we're getting our story from, API, like published report, and we are getting it from published reports. And if you check when you test it, you are going to see the content that can be generated, and they are majorly from platforms that are credible and reliable. So currently, we do not intend to get data from everywhere, because the report that we are giving must be fact-checked and must be reliable. So the content that you are going to get now are from published source, and well, that is settled. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Sorry, you've seen me again. So the mentor who has been working with them, because like I said, the team of journalists, technologists, data scientists. Sometimes journalists may not be able to answer some questions that you're asking. So let me just give it to the mentor to provide clarification.
I guess Daramola did a good job of everything, really. In terms of first thing was that it's a work in progress, and that means that we can't expect everything to be balanced or to be perfect today. To the last question that the lady asked, I guess at the moment, by what we had, it's taken from about 10 newspapers that have given us access. There's ongoing conversation with archiving, which is a repository of newspapers in Nigeria, to also provide access to their data. Some of it is already open source. That will help. But beyond that is the fact that we believe that the support from CJID, the support from every other publisher in the room, to allow them to have access to their backend and not think that this is what's an open resource for journalists. And that means the more access that we provide to the platform to use our stories, the better for us. And like you mentioned, there's no offline brain anywhere. I think we need to sort of take that away, that anything is taking our job or our capacity to think. The capacity for your students to be able to think is what you should teach them. Strategic thinking, critical thinking is what we should teach before we teach even the core principles of journalism. I think that's what we should really, focus on.
All right, thank you. And we also have a panel on the future of media and AI just after tea break that would really look at all of those. And also to say that when the typewriter was in use many years ago and the computer was introduced, many people said they would continue to use typewriter. Today we still have typists, we still have typewriter. Anybody using it today? If we don't move with the tool today, it will leave us behind. Thank you.
Thank you.
A better round of applause for Daramola, please. Thank you so much. So we're moving on to the third demonstration of the day, and that is News Accessibility Platform. News Accessibility Platform. I'll be calling on Abdulrafiu Izuafa for the demonstration. A round of applause as he makes his way up on stage. Don't worry, they won't roast you half as much as they did Daramola, so you're safe.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Abdulrafiu Izuafa, and I and my team came up with a solution called News Accessibility Platform. It's a solution that we figured out from the problem that people with disabilities face in accessing the journalism space. So, the News Accessibility Platform is an AI-driven solution that ensures equal access to news for persons with disabilities in Nigeria. So we believe there is a challenge. There's a challenge actually, because there are persons with hearing disabilities, hearing impairments, and persons with visual impairments, and there are also other disabilities that journalists don't encounter for when distributing news in different platforms. So I can take an example of Oluwakeji and Kule. Oluwakeji and Kule confront the same challenge every day, accessing news that shapes their lives and communities. Oluwakeji, who is visually impaired, often feels disconnected from the world around her. She struggles to find timely information that could influence her decisions and aspirations. Meanwhile, Kunle, who is hearing impaired, is frustrated by his inability to fully engage with news broadcasts that lack sign language interpretation. Together, they represent a growing population of over 25 million Nigerians today who face similar barriers accessing vital news updates. And the problem is clear because it is believable that today, according to World Health Organization, over 40 million deaf people and 26.3 million individuals with visual impairments in Africa, in Nigeria, they face these challenges in the journalism industry. And there's few efforts taken into accountability, into making sure that this particular set of people are often catered to. And few efforts have actually been made to cater to their problem, like the Nigerian Television Authority. They are trying their best to offer sign language interpretation, and the cable newspaper who released a mobile application called Dina to cater to persons with disabilities. Okay. So the News Accessibility Platform is an AI solution. It's a platform that allows persons with disabilities to access news better, and specifically persons with hearing and visual impairments. So how it works is that you can, because we don't want an issue where there are a lot of newsrooms, there are lots of platforms out there. We don't want an issue where you would have to leave those platforms that you're comfortable with to come to another platform that produces news. So how it works is that you can easily copy the article URL of any from any news platform, input it into our platform, and we enable the accessibility features for you. So let's say you copy a URL from Punch News, for example, and input it into our platform. We enable features like for the visual impaired, they can listen to the article. For the hearing impaired, they can, if they upload a video, they can get closed captioning and detailed transcription of that video. And it also goes way back to non-native speakers who have little literacy, they prefer listening to news in their local language. And we cater to that also by offering translation services, like they can listen to these articles in their local languages like Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba for now. And we also ensure that this news is personalized to them. So when onboarding into the platform, we take account into the platform that is most preferable to you, the platform which you are most likely listen to these articles, news from, and we use that to cater the news experience to you. So the features, like I earlier mentioned, are video description, audio to text conversion, local language translator and audio, that's in Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. and sound and speech detection for transcriptions and closed captioning, and sentiment analysis for personalized news experience. And it is a centralized accessibility tools for newsroom. This is one of the major features that differentiates us from other platforms out there. We bring all these different accessibility features into one platform. So when you just input an article URL, you don't even need to copy the text. Just give us the article URL, and we enable these accessibility features for you. And the news accessibility platform, while it's actually being adopted by various newsrooms and journalists across Nigeria and the world, it's going to increase news consumption among the deaf and blind in Nigeria, and it's going to boost newsroom efficiency by centralizing these accessibility tools, and it's going to foster collaboration and reduce costs for news organizations. So the extra resources the extra costs you're spending to get more resources to cater to these persons with disabilities, with SNAP, you can easily cater to those people and the problems. And it enables a more inclusive society with equal access to information. So like the products I'm demoing today, it's the MVP, and we have future plans because obviously a lot of newsrooms want to adopt this feature into their existing platforms so that when the users come in to read and access these articles, there is an accessibility feature that is enabled on those platforms. And by doing that, we plan on developing a plugin that can be easily embedded and integrated into these existing newsrooms, whether you are using WordPress or any custom stacks to create this website, and also a browser extension for users who use browsers to read news. You can easily access these accessibility features using the browser extension or the NAP plugin. This is the team of journalists and technologists that came together to build this product, the news accessibility platform. Yes, so that was all. And the platform is currently live. You can demo it by scanning this. Okay. So this is the demo video.
for Abdulrafiu and his team for now. Very thoughtful, very inclusive, and very timely. Thank you so much. Now it's time for questions. The speed with which your hands are going up is very inspiring. So we only have 3 hands, and we'll just take that. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Maria Shamslima, a freelance freelance investigative reporter. I write for Women Radio and UKFM. My one is not a question actually, just like an addition to what has been demonstrated from the first one to the third one. I think what we should put in our mind is that all these tools are to assist us and to guide, not to do the whole work for us. For instance, I'll give you an example. I was going through a lot when I conducted my investigative report on GBB, speaking to little girls that have been, sexually assaulted in Kano. It makes me to be having a sleepless night. So at some point, I actually didn't know who to talk to. But then one day I just feel like, okay, let me chat with AI. So I started like, okay, can I share my personal stuff with you? And he said yes. So as I started, AI was actually able to give me some hints on what to do. It advised me, and then it still tells me to go and speak with a therapist. So that means AI cannot do the whole work for us. It's just to assist us and guide us. So that's the key word, AI for assisting us, regarding whether you're a journalist, researcher, or whatsoever. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, so I'm so happy for this session because it's like an eye-opener for me. I'm a climate storyteller. I use content creation, vlogging to tell the stories of communities sacrificed on the altar of fossil energy and petrodollars. I work in the Niger Delta, and my concerns are, I want to really leverage this app because for the first time I've realized that I've not been able to make the impaired people access my stories because I always tell them in English and all of that. So in as much as I want to leverage this app, I want to know, since the translations is in Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, is there a future plan for the Niger Delta languages? And also, is there going to be a plan like ChatGPT where you have to apply for a premium version and all of that, or is it going to be running free for life? That's the question. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammed. I'm a researcher with Dubawa. Thank you, Abdulrafiu. My question is, are you thinking of a future plan of adding a feature where news can be delivered through sign language, through animated characters for the deaf community? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, I said this is currently an MVP, and like I said, there's going to be a next phase for it, and we plan on adopting more languages. So it's just left for us to gather those data, train it, and cater it to the end user. So yes, it's going to cater to the languages in the Nigeria Delta region. And for the second question, for the sign language animation, this was a feature we actually early adopted. In fact, we actually started training our models to cater to that, but realized that it requires a lot of computing resources. So while taking it into the phase 2, because it's going to actually improve the way the hearing impaired can communicate through sign language. So it's something we're going to consider actually taking in the phase 2. Thank you.
Oh, what? It's going to be free for life.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's an MVP, and we're open to partnership and donations, but for now it's free. For now it's free.
For now it's free. Enjoy it, just like what's this video app called? My question is basically because we have hundreds of languages in Nigeria. Will you be able to accommodate all of them, or are you just going to settle for pidgin?
I think we can cater to most languages, but definitely not all for now. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry again. Thank you for asking the questions. CJID is happy to support other people who have ideas to build or to improve our existing tools. So they can't solve all the problems, and they can't build all the tools. Like I said, it's a group of journalists, tech bros and tech Cs, data analysts, and it can be a little confusing sometimes. So we appreciate the questions and the feedbacks, but we don't want to kill the young man. but all the feedbacks, we are documenting them, and then of course it will feed into the improvement of the tool. But if this current tool is not able to solve, all the problems, and you have ideas on how to build more, and CJID is here to support, with technical support, with the financial resources and the network and all the, everything that will get it work. Thank you. And please, if you have questions, direct it to them and also to their mentor who's there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Abdulrafiu, Izuafa, and his team for News Accessibility Platform, NAP. Now, the next one, and well, the last for today, is News Lab. And to present and show a demonstration is Oluwakeji Onabajo. Oluwakeji Onabajo. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oluwakeji Onabajo, not Onabanjo. Onabajo, okay, thank you. Today I'm presenting you Journalist Lab. To every journalist in the house, we are optimizing your newsroom. And it's a collaborative effort. Journalist Lab, in one sense, is like more of a laboratory, just like a traditional laboratory. Think of your secondary school laboratory, your university laboratory, which have every feature needed to prepare your products. So Journalist Lab is a platform whereby you prepare your news articles, you optimize your newsroom products. So this product, this tool is solving some problems we highlighted. The first is information overload. So journalists are filled with so many tasks. That is, there are so many stories to cover. There are so many best practice principles to follow. So we are addressing this with these tools. There is high demand of quality content delivery. There is high demand to streamline the editorial processes of every newsroom, and every journalist are trying as much as possible to meet up with this demand. And there's also the issue of fact-checking. Every journalist wants to give out factual and accurate news content out there. Journalists are open to plagiarism. We, as much as possible, want to take pride in our work and also wouldn't like our works to be published out there without proper referencing and citation. Also, we are solving audience engagement. Journalists and newsroom at times find it hard to engage their audience in the sense that there are diverse audience with diverse preferences, and with Journalist Lab, we are addressing this. On the next slide, yes. So for the Journalist Lab, we have 3 features embedded in it for now. And the first one is the real-time aggregated news headline. This real-time aggregated news line is suitable for broadcasting news headline in real time. And it's available for diverse country, diverse category, and others featuring features also. So we also have SEO-enabled news content generation. That is, for every journalist, all you have to do is upload evidential-based documents, let's say government reports, budget from government, policy you want to research on. When you upload it on the platform, you can choose to model a newsroom. You can model CNN, models channels, model Al Jazeera, and then you can choose your in-house style to follow. So when you do this, input other features, you generate a full-fledged news article, SEO-enabled, and you also get social media posts that will get you user engagement. And lastly, we also have a radio co-host, which is suitable for you to prep ahead of your live session, and also suitable during the live session for engagement with the AI. Next slide, please. So how it works, we'll be displaying a demo of the platform is live, and you can also check it out. We'll be displaying a demo to show how it works right now. The next slide, please. Accessible via that link, and also as a feedback form. We also like to get your feedback even as you are using the platform, because over the last 3 days, we got over 20 feedback, and we implemented some of the feedbacks we got within that days also. You can play the video, please. So over there you have your news headline. You can sort according to your countries, get news headline from various countries you want, news headlines from different categories, and you can also copy each headlines. And mostly, as I said, it's very suitable for radio broadcasting or TV broadcasting. And this is about the SEO-enabled content generation. So all you have to do is input the title of the project you're creating and other details. So you can choose to model a newsroom and choose your in-house writing style. So this will follow suit with the content you feed it with. And you upload your evidential-based documents. Either it's a report, you don't have enough time to go through this report, you have an audio recording, an interview, we don't have enough time to transcribe, it will transcribe and generate news content for you. So let's have it. So you have 3 options to select from the news headlines. You can select the news headlines suitable for you. You also have keywords that you can choose to select. So you can regenerate this headline till you get a suitable one, and you can also copy this item. So those are the social media posts for you, SEO enabled. So that's the last one, which is the co-host, whereby you prep yourself ahead of a live session with the AI, and also in the live session, you can also interact with the AI in the live session. So that's the, so we have a milestone ahead of us. And okay, here is the feedback. Like we said, we got feedback from different people, journalists from the newsroom. And as we got this feedback, we implemented some of this feedback in the newsroom in the long run to have what we presented today. Next slide. So here's our milestone. Currently, we have the real-time aggregated news headline available for use, the SEO-enabled news content generation, and we have the AI co-host. And very soon, we'll be having the video and audio news generation. So after generating this SEO-enabled news content, you can convert this news content to audio news or video news, just like you have in your TV station, whereby there's an animated headlines. You can generate this immediately after generating your news content, also news, audio news. So for the fact check, you can fact check your content real time while you are typing. So the platform we have an inbuilt word editor where you can type your news content, even as the AI generates, you can edit. While you're typing, you can highlight and to fact check immediately to ensure that your content are fact checked. And also plagiarism check. While you've worked on news content over time, and they are stored on our platform. Whenever your work is plagiarized anywhere, you will get an alert in real time. So maybe when you have your news article, 2 or 3 on the platform, wherever the AI detects that your work is featured without referencing or without recitation, you get alerted in real time and you can take any legal action you wish to take. And also we have the news simulation very coming soon. We are most interested in this news simulation, but the fact that you can simulate ahead what your audience or how your audience will react to news content, or you can simulate your news article before it goes out if it will trigger activism or it will trigger the police against you or to trigger any kind of reaction from your audience, the likes you get, the feedback, the comments, you simulate it before it goes out to feel safe and in general optimizing what you do in your newsroom. Next slide. So we are a team of journalists and tech experts, and together we are optimizing your newsroom. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oluwakeji. Are you not impressed? Are you not impressed? Amazing work. So we'll take a few questions for the next 5 minutes. Don't forget, you can also direct the question to their mentor. So any questions? I'm particularly impressed with this one. So we have one person. One, the man in the lovely cap. 2. Okay, so let's just take those 2 questions. You can either direct to him and don't forget the mentor as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me commend the team for coming up with this innovation that will add value to what we do in the journalism space. More important to me is...
Sorry, your name, sir?
My name is Jamiu Folari. More important to me...
Your organization?
I am a lecturer. I'm also a journalist. So more important to me is the plagiarism check. How do we ensure that when you put in your details, you are able to trace the source of the plagiar, anyone that has plagiarized your work? So that's my question.
Good day, everyone, again. My name is Mohammed. I work with Dubawa as a fact checker. So my question is on the fact check. I want to get a clarification. Are you trying to say that if I get a claim, say for instance, Tinubu and Peter Obi are in this hall, are you trying to say that if I see that as a claim, I can put that on the AI tool and it will fact check it for me to say that whether it is misleading or whether it is true? Thank you.
So,
yes, I think those are the questions.
From the last one, so the fact checking works in a way that it works in real time. It will have an inbuilt editor whereby when you are typing your news content or when you get the audio SEO generated content, you can edit it. When you highlight a phrase, it will pop up a fact checking option to verify this phrase or sentence. It will fact check that phrase for you in real time. That's what it's trying to do. And also, in any way, you can import your content and fact check the phrases in it also. Concerning the plagiarism, so plagiarism check. If I get your question right, when your projects are on that platform, as long as it remains there, wherever it detects that your work is being plagiarized without recitation or referencing, you will get alerted. It will have an inbuilt system that will always check out on the web, whereby it will search anywhere your work has been plagiarized. So these features is not yet in place, but these are what we look forward to putting in place for you, just to optimize your newsroom.
Thank you very much. Please, once again, let's put our hands together for Oluwakeji Onabajo. Thank you so much for giving us a peek into your lab, the news lab. These tools are available if you want to download these tools or engage with these platforms. Let me just use that right. you can always get the link from the information desk, and I think everybody should, so we should get all of these links and interact with them, use them. They keep saying it's at the MVP phase. How many of us want to know what MVP means? Not most valuable player. Apparently MVP means minimum viable product, so I think it's still at the phase, the simplest phase. So that's what they mean, it's not full-blown yet. That's why he gave us the milestone, what they're hoping to be in the future. So please, let's engage, let's give feedback and support these tools. So once again, let's put our hands together for these amazing people and the great work they're doing. Thank you so much.